Hello and Minglaba, welcome to Myanmar Today. I'm Arker Kyaw with the latest news and reports from around Myanmar. Reporter Willison covered a story on Hluttaw's further discussion on tissue culture banana. Then got a report on 70th anniversary of Rawang's National Day. Swayzin has a story on increase of airlines leading to better market for Myanmar-China tourism. David got a report on ISEC Center, which recently opened in Myanmar. Before we go to the reports, let's check on some local news. In local news, State Councillor attended the second oral proceedings first session at ICJ. State Councillor Daw San Suu Kyi, as the Union Minister for Foreign Affairs and the agent of Myanmar, attended the second oral proceedings first session on the third day of the Gambia against Myanmar at the International Court of Justice at The Hague of Netherlands at 10 a.m. Thursday morning local time. It was also attended by Union Ministers U Chaw Tin Sway and U Chaw Tin, Myanmar Ambassador to the Netherlands and Belgium U So Lin Han, and delegation, local and foreign lawyers for the Myanmar government and members of legal support group. Myanmar Express in the Netherlands and other foreign countries who came to support the state councillor cheered and gave her moral support outside the ICJ on the third day of oral proceedings. UEC discusses security preparedness for 2020 general election. The Union Election Commission co-organized a meeting with the United States Institute of Peace Thursday morning to discuss preparations of security measures for the 2020 general election. The UEC chairman added that the needs of security measures in preventing conflicts, announcement of voters lists, campaign period, voting, and publishing election results, while the members of administrative bodies and MPF are to know laws, bylaws, and instructions for the elections. Plan to relocate the Jimyandai fish market is underway. The Yangon authorities are planning to relocate the Jimyandai fish market to another place. Mayor Umamang So made the remarks at the press conference on the Yangon City Development Committee's performance held on 9th December at the Yangon City Hall. Local residents and people from neighboring wards were reportedly irked by offensive odor emanating from the market and the passage of the container trucks at night. To relocate the market, two places have been identified. The first one is the mouth of Yangon River, or the second one, Sri Badak area. The designated site should have cold storage and must accommodate boats. A feasibility study is being undertaken to set up a fish auction market in Dala Township. A systematic fish market will be developed in Yangon. That's all with the local news, and we are moving on to our first report. The first report is tissue culture banana farming has become one of the main important subjects in Hluttaw after the proposal for proper inspection and the establishment of proper rules and regulations for this investment. Therefore, Myanmar Today further discussed on this issue on 12th December. Willison has more.
The growing area of tissue culture banana plantation has become one of the main subjects in Hluttaw, where Hluttaw representatives want to have a proper rules and regulation for expanding tissue culture banana farming across Myanmar. The core aim of Hluttaw discussing on this issue is to have proper taxation system, to have proper understanding on its impact and avoid other unnecessary issues. As for now, there is no proper rules and regulations to inspect tissue culture banana farming in Myanmar. As the result of weak rules and regulations for the locals in Kachin, reports that the toxic chemical causes the death of fish and other livings along the river nearby tissue culture banana farming. This proposal of proper rules and regulation for the tissue was first proposed by Dr. Khun Wen Dang of Kachin State Constituency 11th last week, and the Hluttaw approved his proposal for further discussion on this subject. And this is the continuation of last week's discussion. Discussing at the Myanmar Hluttaw its second time 14 regular session on 12th of December, U Kim Myo Win of the Nindari region, Constituency 12 said,
I am not here to oppose the investment of tissue culture banana farming, but as there will always be both positive and negative impacts of all the projects, what I want is there has to be the best outcome. This is why I also would like to make sure that we reduce all the negative impact to at least as possible, which is inevitable. So the investment in this sector should come under the inspection of respective state and regional investment commissions, even if Chinese firms want to expand the investment. However, the process is done directly between the local landlords, and while it is in the process of applying license, the firm already starts the plantation. This is the reason why this issue related to tissue culture banana farming is being in the process of solving between the locals and investors. Even in the process of exporting the products, there must be proper protocol where the exporters will have valid permit from the locals and the exported products also be toxic-free products. The exporters should only carry the permitted amount of tons. If they don't follow the inspection and causes any damage to bridge, the exporters must pay for the cost of rebuilding that bridge.
In order to reduce the negative impact of tissue culture banana plantation, the government has to oversee the areas such as the use of fertilizer, consulting the experts from abroad, controlling inappropriate investment, and solving the present issue of tissue culture banana farming. As the amount of the investment is likely to increase rather than declining, Myanmar has to prepare well for the coming impact. Kyaw is Hluttaw representative of Kachin State Constituency 3 who hails from Kachin State itself, and speaking at Hluttaw, he said as he comes from the area where this tissue culture banana farming is, he understands well about the negative impacts of this kind of farming. Discussing at Hluttaw, he said,
One of the main issues we face is the companies would work with local brokers in acquiring the land by negotiation for renting the land. Sometimes they threaten the locals and use forceful act. Though it is mentioned in investment law to respect the local and compensate for their loss, the investors don't comply with these rules and regulations. The fields owned by locals were destroyed without consent of the landlords and sometimes even with violence. Due to the tissue culture banana farming, it increased deforestation, contaminates the water, and other tools used on the farming are not well controlled, which also cause several environmental issues.
According to Kyaw, pumping out water for tissue culture banana farming also causes shortage of water to the locals. These are the reason why tissue culture banana farming has to be done with proper rules and regulations as soon as possible. This is Williamson reporting for MI Radio.
That's the story on Hluttaw, further discussing on tissue culture banana. Alright, we move on to weather forecast now. In Yangon, we can expect a sunny morning with mostly sunny and nice weather, and it is warned the air quality would be unhealthy for sensitive groups. There will be clear and cool weather late at night. The temperature throughout the day will be in the mid-20s with sharp drop to 18 degrees Celsius at nighttime with wind gusts at 11 kilometers per hour. In Naypyidaw, we can expect cloudy weather in the morning and nice weather with plenty sunshine throughout the day with clear night. The temperature throughout the day will be in the mid-20s and it will drop to as low as 15 degrees Celsius at night with wind gusts at 9 kilometers per hour. In Mandalay, we can expect sunshine and pleasant weather in the afternoon and throughout the day. Temperature throughout the day will be in the mid-20s and it will drop to as low as 14 degrees Celsius at night with average wind gusts at 9 kilometers per hour. Stay with us, we have another report coming right up, and then we'll check on the stocks and currency exchange rates. The 70th anniversary of Rawang's National Day and communal Christmas commemorative ceremonies were held for the first time. The celebration took place in the Union National Races Village in Takeda Township in Yangon Region on 7th December. Organized by Rawang Literature and Cultural Committee, the commemorative ceremonies urge Rawang ethnics to put more efforts in preserving literature, culture, and language. The commemorative ceremony of Rawang's National Day featured the event of making wishes and Mano folk dances of Rawang ethnics. Rawang ethnics residing in Yangon actively participated. Bieding reports.
The 70th anniversary of Rawang National Days and Communal Christmas commemorative ceremonies were held for the first time in Union National Research Village in Yangon Region on 7th of December. Organized by Rawang Literature and Culture Committee, the commemorative ceremonies intended Rawang ethnics to put more efforts in preserving literature, culture, and language. The commemorative ceremony of Rawang National Day featured the event of making witches and Manok folk dances of Rawang ethnics, in which Rawang ethnic residing in Yangon region actively participated. U Kangin, CEC member of Rawang Literature and Culture Committee, said,
The ceremony of today is that Rawang ethnics living in Yangon are collectively marking the 70th anniversary of Rawang's National Day and Communal Christmas. Now is the Christmas season and Rawang ethnics living in all parts of Yangon region have gathered to organize Rawang's National Day and Communal Christmas. I don't want to mention about Christmas because it is already known to all, but I would like to explain the National Day of Rawang ethnics. It originated in Windin village, Khao Lam Phu region in Hluttaw district, Kachin state in 1949, when our Rawang public leaders and those from different parts of the country adopted a resolution calling for measures to carry out walk of literature. The celebration of Rawang's National Day has now turned 70 years. Everyone has a duty to preserve language, nationality, literature, and culture. I would like to urge all Rawang ethnics, young and old, to put more efforts in preserving literature and language.
These are chickens on
Similarly, Yangon Region Hluttaw Representative U Aung Tu, member of Yangon Region Hluttaw Bill Committee who attended the 70th anniversary of Rawang National Day and Communal Christmas commemorative ceremony, urged Rawang ethnic to place emphasis on measures to provide cultural exchange programs among national races so that cultures and language will be spread to all parts of the country. Likewise, U Aung Tu, chairman of Ethnic Affairs Committee of Yangon Region Hluttaw, also said,
We are constantly providing assistance for ensuring developments in traditional literature and cultural heritages. Each national race is holding their commemorative festivals. Rawang Festival is now the third time and I already attended all festivals. Suppose that traditional literature and cultural heritages of different national races have begun developing. Ethnic equality for different national races is of great importance. Only with this right can the federal union emerge. For that reason, ethnic equality plays a crucial role in establishing the federal union. Concerning ethnic literature and culture, Hluttaw will constantly have to render assistance under the leadership of the Literature and Culture Departments and Ethnic Rights Protection Departments under the Ministry of Ethnic Affairs.
There are more than 80,000 Rawang ethnic in Myanmar, about 1,000 of which are residing in Yangon. The first ever commemorative ceremony of the 70th anniversary of Rawang National Day was held in the Union National Research Village, attended by U Aung Tu, chairman of Ethnic Affairs Committee of Yangon Region Hluttaw. Yangon Region Hluttaw Representative U Aung Tu, member of Yangon Region Hluttaw Bill Committee, the responsible persons of Yangon Rawang Literature and Culture Association at the Union National Research Village.
That's the report on 70th anniversary of Rawang's National Day. And here we have the information on currency rates from Myanmar's central bank. $1 is at 1,512 jets. 1 Chinese renminbi is at 215 jets. 1 euro is at 1,684 jets. 1 pound sterling is at 1,998 jets. The 1 Singapore dollar is at 1,115 jets. 1 Malaysian ringgit is at 363 jets. 1 Thai baht is at 50 jets. And the Indian rupee is at 21 jets. Gold is trading at $1,468. Silver is at $17. Brent crude oil is at $60. On the Yangon Stock Exchange, FMI is at 11,000. MTSH is at 3,850. MCB is at 7,600. FBB is at 22,500. TMH is at 2,950. You're with MI Radio's Myanmar Today. You can log on to our website at miradio.com.mm and catch other great programs live on the website. We are also running on FM 96.1 in Yangon, 96.5 in Mandalay, and 96.7 in Naypyidaw. Or simply download our app so you can listen to our radio programs on the go. Well, we have more reports for you, and we're not gonna keep you waiting, so let's get down to it. The first Chinese airline in Myanmar, Air China, has organized its appreciation banquet on 12th December at Sedona Hotel in Yangon. The airline has established a branch in 1956, and it is reported that more Chinese airlines come to service in Myanmar and Chinese tourist arrival is rising. Dora Suizin has more.
China is the country with the increasing number of tourist arrival in Myanmar. Being one of the leading countries of tourist arrival in Myanmar, China is an important country for Myanmar tourism. At the same time, many travelers are also leaving for China. Witnessing the increase of tourists between the two countries, more Chinese airlines are entering to service in Myanmar, and vice versa. Because of the increased airlines and frequencies of flight, more tourists are traveling in the two countries.
现这个从去年以来的话呢，大量的中国游客呢到缅甸来旅游观光，光这个航空公司。
Since the previous year, as the number of Chinese tourists in Myanmar has been rising, there are many airline companies entering into Myanmar. There are about 10 Chinese companies right now. They have also doubled the frequency of flights. There are direct flights between 3 cities of Myanmar and 10 cities of China.
Air China is the first airline between Myanmar and China, and it has established its branch in Myanmar since 1956.
过去呢，这些航线呢，主要是一些工商务客源跟一个西方客源，但是近2年来的话呢，这个中国来这里的旅游。
At first, there were only government employees and foreigners who flew with Air China to go to China, but gradually the number of Myanmar tourists leaving for China for excursion or vacation has increased. So as for the Chinese tourist arrival, starting from the October of last year, the statistic is rising because of the release of visa on arrival. The Chinese tourists come to Myanmar mostly with the purpose of vacation because of its rich natural resources and tourist attractions.
အခုရာသီအနေနဲ့ကတော့တရုတ်ကိုအသွားများပါတယ်ညီမလေး။ဘာဖြစ်လို့ဆိုတော့တရုတ်ပြည်ကလည်းကိုရိုစီမှာဒါလေကြောင်းလိုင်းပေါင်းစုံပေါ့နော်
This is the season Myanmar tourists are visiting China. They have now more choices among the various Chinese airlines servicing in Myanmar. For the Chinese tourists, they are now visiting Bhutan in open season, which was recently recognized as World Heritage Site.
နောက်ပိုင်းမှာမြန်မာနဲ့တရုတ်ကလေကြောင်းဆက်သွယ်မှုအခြေအနေအရခရီးသွားတွေများလာပါလိမ့်မယ်။ဘာဖြစ်လို့လဲဆိုတော့
I think there will be more tourists visiting between two countries. Right now, it is the peak season for visit to Beijing. The airlines have increased the frequency of flight, and the departure and arrival time is very flexible. Moreover, for the tourists who want to go to Europe or America through China transit, the airlines provide convenient departure and arrival time.
China is the country with a high number of local tourists visiting other countries, so it will be the huge market to attract more visitors from China.
中缅的航线的话呢，从去年开始是快速的一个发展，目前呢相对比较稳定，但是预计的话呢，未来的话还会继续来这个增加新的航线。
As Air China, we are to operate more flights between China and Myanmar because China has high number of tourists visiting other countries. There are annually about 1,000 million tourists. There is a distinct gap between Chinese tourist arrival in Myanmar and its neighbor country Thailand. But more Chinese tourists are entering into Thailand because of free visa. So I hope Myanmar can carry more relaxed processes for Chinese visa on arrival. I'm sure that more Chinese visitors will come to Myanmar.
Chinese airlines intend to give more services for the tourists of the two countries, which can invite more Chinese tourists to Myanmar to be supportive for Myanmar tourism. And on the other hand, Myanmar travelers will have more choices to go to China. That's all for now. This is Dora Switson from MI Radio.
That's a report on the increase of airlines leading to better market for Myanmar-China tourism. Well, here is the last report for today. International Specialist Eye Center ISEC Myanmar was officially opened at Pan Pacific Hotel on 6th December. Myanmar's first ever private international eye hospital, which is also state-of-the-art eye care center, was launched at the ceremony. Yangon Mia Umamangso, officials from the Ministry of Health and Sports and Myanmar Investment Commission MIC attended the event. Reporter David Tanner has details.
International Specialist Eye Healthcare Center (ISEC) is a Singapore-based investment holding company. It is a regional leading medical eye care service provider with surgical centers in Singapore, in Kuala Lumpur, Penang, and Malacca, Malaysia, and now in Myanmar. ISEC Healthcare is invested by AIER, Eye Hospital Group, China's leading hospital network for eye care, which is also backed by Singapore's Temasek Holdings Group. With that said, Dr. Wong John Xian, CEO of ISEC Healthcare, told MI Radio about the detail of the event.
My name is Dr. Wong. I'm the CEO of ISEC Healthcare Limited, a company based in Singapore. Today is the official launching of our first eye center in Yangon, the ISEC Yangon branch. This represents our first investment in collaboration with local partners and local eye doctors in bringing the ISEC model to the people of Myanmar.
ISEC Myanmar is a joint venture between ISEC Healthcare and Next Tire International Company Limited. It is a member of Global Technology Group. What does the role of international standard play in the healthcare center?
When we say international, means we are bringing the international know-how, the international way of doing things, and basically to come into Myanmar. The Myanmarese eye doctors are very well trained and are recognized in this part of the world as some of the best when it comes to medical education. However, what we find that the Myanmarese doctors lack a good platform to practice world-class medicine. And ISEC, being an established eye care provider in Southeast Asia with multinational centers, we thought that this is a good time to come into Myanmar to open the first ISEC eye care center here. Now, what we offer is our culture is a very excellent-based culture where we want to provide top-class quality care, and that is a state-of-the-art in ophthalmology, in all aspects of eye services, from cataracts to the complex retinal surgery, at an affordable price to the people of Myanmar. So this is our model.
How does eye care and health centers play a role in Myanmar as in general? Will also be answered.
I think healthcare as a whole is a big problem, as people become more educated, more affluent, living longer, all of us at some point in time will get some sickness. So eye is no exception. For example, with an increasing affluent economy, we are getting more and more diseases that which in the past we don't see so many. For example, diabetic related eye problem, and people are living longer, so they are getting age related problem like macular degeneration, glaucoma, and of course with aging population, everybody would develop cataract. So they would place a big demand and burden on the needs for good eye care. And I think everybody values vision, so this is a very important part of our general health. So with the provision of top-class eye care, we hope that the local community would able to benefit very high quality services at a cost that is affordable to the local Myanmar community.
How can this impact the people's livelihood in Myanmar and lifestyle with the facilities that they offer? This topic will be discussed by Dorkin Ii, Director of ISEC Myanmar.
Yangon offers a range of specialist eye care services in the fields of cataract and refractive surgery, including laser-assisted in situ keratomycosis, LASIK, vitreoretinal diseases, cornea and external eye diseases, glaucoma, uveitis, oculoplastics, facial cosmetics and aesthetic surgery, adult strabismus, and pediatric ophthalmology. This might be a really great help for patients who need health care of any of the sectors that I mentioned. In this way, we can be a part of supporting the livelihood of people in Myanmar.
In addition, ISEC Myanmar will be conducting free trainings to upgrade the skills of the local team, alongside workshops, seminars, symposium for young Myanmar eye doctors, nurses, and healthcare workers. Reporter David Tanner reporting from Myanmar International Radio.
That's all the reports we have for today. We're now going to look into some international news here on Myanmar Today. In international news, Trump says US and China are very close to trade deal. Wall Street share markets hit a record high on signs of an imminent pause in the trade war between US and China. Business chiefs who met White House officials on Thursday hinted that a deal could come this week. It would avert another round of tariffs that US was due to impose on China on Sunday. The US has reportedly offered to halve tariff rates on about $350 billion worth of Chinese goods, some of which had climbed as high as 25%. In exchange, China would commit to boost its purchases of US agricultural products. G-Dragon and Taeyang to lose rights to their artist names if they don't renew their contracts with YG. The re-signing of group Big Bang is about to determine the share price and future of YG Entertainment, as they are one of their biggest earners. With this in mind, it has come to light that YG owns a wide range of trademark rights for its key members, including G-Dragon and Taeyang, which is weighing on the possibility of their future contracts. The industry believes that the re-signing of Taeyang and G-Dragon, the only two members of the group that haven't faced serious scandal, will play a big role in their label's share prices. You're with MI Radio's Myanmar Today. I am Arker Kyaw. Thanks for joining me. Have a good day. Goodbye now.